Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 10 of the 12 Days of Yoga with Kat. I cannot believe we're already at day 10. How exciting, right? So this is 10 Lords of Leaping. We're going to be working up to splits or split prep, depending on where you are in your practice today. You may want to grab 2 blocks, and we're going to begin on our backs. So making your way into a comfortable reclined position. So you can lay out into a Shavasana, or you can bring the feet together, knees apart, feet planted on the earth. Relax through the shoulders. Allow the eyes to close. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out of your mouth. Big breath in. And out. Begin to scan through your body in this space. Notice how you physically feel before we begin to move today. As you're taking that scan, maybe you decide to shift into an Ujjayi breath. Finding those big full inhales through the nose, long, slow exhales out of the nose with that slight constriction at the back of the throat. Each exhale begins to soften you deeper into the mat, releasing any tension, letting go of any stress. And just taking this next little small short practice to take care of your body and your mind. Let go of any attachment you have to the outcome. And just move with the sensations in your body. Listen to what you need. Take any modifications, variations that you need from today's practice. Take a big full breath in through the nose. Out of the mouth. Maybe beginning to draw your attention towards your mind and how you've been feeling today or this week, or as we've worked towards the 12 days of yoga. Allowing any judgment to kind of fall away, drift away. And from this place of physical awareness and mental awareness, I offer you to set an intention for today's practice. And find that intention, breathe it in, and use the breath to hold on to it as we begin to move. On your next inhale, bring those knees into the chest. Maybe circling them around one direction and then the other. Massaging the low back into the mat. Then you're going to hold on to that right leg, maybe plant the left foot or extend the left leg long down the mat, and keep finding those circular movements. So as we move throughout this practice today, guys, there's no forcing, right? You're using your breath, you're softening the body, you're inviting space. So if you ever get into a place where you're either having to force or you're feeling some incredibly deep sensations, back out of it, reset the breath, refocus the intention for today's practice. Next thing we're going to do is switch sides. Grab that left knee in. Give it a little squeeze. Feel that low back as it sinks into the mat, and then start to roll that left knee around. Excuse me. And you'll start to bring that right leg back in. This time we're going to do a little bit of a crunch here. So to lift the shoulders up, pull down through the belly, and lengthen through the neck. So don't crunch here, right? Maybe the bottom leg begins to hover. Neck is neutral. Switch. 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 Maybe you start to go no hands. Switch. 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 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg starts to go straight. Hold, 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 and switch. So if you're not able to grab the leg straight, maybe it's just extended and bent. Switch. If you can't quite grab, maybe it's down here. Switch. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, not forcing, right? 1, maybe no hands. Switch. 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 Almost there. Switch. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back down into a bridge preparation. Plant those feet. Give them a little windshield wiper side to side. We're going to press up for a bridge pose. So start to bring the fingertips down towards the heels. Press into the feet. Walk the shoulder blades together behind the back. Slight tilt of the chin towards the chest. Pull in. Breathe. Exhale, slowly lower down. Find a moment of stillness. Allow those hips to settle. Bring the knees together, feet apart. Pull down through the belly. Pull your low back down into the mat. Squeeze that and release. Bring the feet together, knees apart. Then we're going to pull our knees back into our chest. A couple of options here. You can begin to rock forward and backwards and begin to bring yourself into a forward fold. If that's not for you today, you can rock onto your side and begin to make your way up to that forward fold. I honestly don't know if it's for me today. Yeah. Come on, girl. There we go. Lift those hips high to the sky. Drop that head down. Here's where maybe our blocks can start to come in. As you inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Woo. Exhale, fold. I can still feel my old ice skating knee. Start to pedal this out. Let go of the head. If the sensation along the back side of the legs are super intense, maybe hands aren't even on blocks. Maybe they're up higher, right? It doesn't have to look like anything fancy, guys. It just needs to feel good to you. And I'll tell you, if you're in a place where the muscles are in fight or flight mode, then your body starts to fight against you because it thinks that you're in danger of hurting yourself. And most likely you are if you're pushing into that space, that threshold of sensation. So as we move through this, you just get to that edge. You're like, oh, there it is. And then right? Glance down, looking at the feet, making sure that your joints are stacked here. You're not letting those ankle bones roll down towards the ground, making the legs kind of pronate. I'll show you what that looks like from here. Letting the ankles roll in. Yeah, so just energetically lift up through those arches. You got about 2 more breaths pedaling out. And on your next inhale, let's halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach, tall mountain. Lift the hands, lift the hearts. Exhale, forward fold, empty out the breath. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Palm the mat. Make your way back to plank. Pause here. Press the ground away from you. 5 knee taps. Knees scoop in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a chaturanga flow or skip it. Find downward facing dog. Move with your breath. Take any variations or modifications you need to take each time you come to that flow. Landing in this first downward facing dog, spread the fingers nice and wide. Notice the sensation that happens as you land here, and then you decide, do you need movement today? Do you need to pedal these legs out? Or do you need a little bit of stillness? And neither is right or wrong, right? It just is. It's what you need. Tap in, create that strong connection with your intuition. Moving back towards stillness if you've been pedaling out that dog. And we'll inhale, rise high up onto our tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees super deep, melt your chest back towards your thighs. Beautiful. Inhale, lifts the hips high to the sky, melt the heels. 2 more. Inhale, bend those knees, melt that chest. And come on up. Ooh, yeah. Inhale. Inhale, right leg is going to lift to the sky for a parallel 3-point. So try to keep those hips even with one another and extend out through those heels. Relax the head, the neck. Exhale is going to bring you into a runner's lunge. So that right foot comes all the way up to the top of your mat. If it doesn't quite get there, use that right hand to bring it on up. If you're using your blocks, bringing them on each side of this runner's lunge, begin to lengthen out. Shoulders down, squeezing. So we're encouraging that left hip flexor to find some space here. Relax, breathe. Then starting to flow with our breath. Inhale brings us into a modified crescent. Hands lift high to the sky. And then exhale, split prep. Start to fold over that straight leg. Woo! Inhale, rise, modified crescent. Exhale, split prep. Hands or no hands. If you want to go no hands, they'll hover by the sides. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, settle back. 2 more. Last one. So as you settle into this split prep, we're lengthening out the back side of that right leg. If it's quite tight right here, don't force it straight. Try to keep the hips square first. And then encourage that length behind the knee. Slow breath in and out. Assess the situation, like what is the sensation level right now, right? Can we keep it on a scale of 1 to 10 at a 6 or below? Playing with this leg now, because we're all going to feel a little bit different when we land here. Maybe the toes come out to the right for a little bit. And the toes come in towards center. And you just play with the placement of the leg, the placement of the hips. Maybe you'd like to play with pointing and flexing. After you've explored for just a little bit, I'll offer you to find that place of that deepest sensation. So you decide where that is today. Pull in through the belly button, send the tailbone back, lengthen top of head towards the top of that right foot. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears as you deepen the inhales and the exhales. Using that breath to ease the sensation, ease the thoughts, ease the reaction to the discomfort. Two more. So we'll start to bring ourselves back to our split prep and then shift forward to that modified lunge. Excuse me. Moving into a quad stretch from here. This might be where you stay today, right? Just lengthening that quad and melting hips down towards the ground. Or maybe you begin to reach back for that foot or ankle. And again, gently start to pull the heel towards the bum. Maybe the chest begins to lift. If you like to work towards a twist, you can pull chest back. For today's purposes, it might be best to lengthen chest forward so that we have that. You can feel it coming from that left knee all the way up through that quad. Starts to come up into that left hip flexor, maybe even up into your belly. What do you think, David? You said quad. Gently release that foot down. We're going to step up to the top of our mat for a grounded airplane. So again, hips are square. You may need your blocks. Tuck those back toes. Inhale, begin to lift off. So, as we land in this space, this leg might start to be open up a little bit more. See if you can grow longer from the top of the head and the back heel. And then drop that left heel, your left hip, even with the right. Extend legs out in both directions. Ooh, and then we're going to slide the left pinky toe on the outside of that right pinky. Moving into Krishna's dance. Little twisted leg forward fold. This is a fantastic place for blocks. Take a little inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, soften the top of the head. Slow down the breath. Slow down the reaction to this space. Gently unwind back into a forward fold, and as you inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, palm the mat. Choose how you make your way back to a downward facing dog. If you'd like to take that chaturanga flow. Try not to talk as you're doing it. Here we go. Big full breath in and out. Inhale, left leg lifts for that parallel 3-point. So our right leg might actually feel a little bit better than the left did when you first found this side because we've already warmed it up. So encourage that right heel towards the ground. It might not be there today. Encourage length in the back of the neck. Your exhale finds a runner's lunge. Foot comes in between the hands. If it doesn't quite get there, use that left arm to give it a little bit of a boost. As you land in this lunge, check in with that alignment. Check in with the placement of your joints, right? Letting that ankle bone roll down towards the ground. Then we're going to start to flow with breath. So inhale, modified crescent, hands lift, heart lifts. Exhale, split prep, hands or no hands. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, split prep, and I'll demo that little no hands, so the hands are by the side. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, split prep. Take what works best for you today. 2 more. And we'll land in that split prep. We're going to start to explore sensation. So find a comfortable space where you got a little bit going on. Then inhale, get a little longer. Exhale, drop that head. And start to play with the rotation of that leg, toes out. Maybe toes in. And then you'll know where the space is for you today. And each time you come here, it might not be exactly the same. So have fun exploring, you know. Be curious about what's going on inside of your body and tap into that superpower of intuition. Get to that place of the deepest sensation for you today. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. You got about 4 breaths. I don't know, what's that for? 1 more. Inhale is going to bring you forward into that active runner's lunge. You might want to bring those blocks with you if you need them for your grounded airplane. Next inhale, begin to lift. Square those hips. Lengthen. Then we're going to bring those pinkies to touch for Krishna's dance. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Drop that head. Find a space to breathe. Oh no, I forgot the quad stretch. We'll go back and get it. So as we unwind, we're actually going to go right back into our runner's lunge. So send that right foot back to the back of your mat. Lengthening out and then bringing that back knee down. Just flexing the heel towards the bum or reaching back for that bind. So moving into it. Noticing where your edge is. Pause. And then deepen the breath. Gently release that foot. We're going to find our way back to a plank, choosing a chaturanga flow, or skip it, find downward facing dog. Check in. How do you feel? What are the sensations that are showing up? Come back to your breath. Inhale, parallel 3-point. Exhale, runner's lunge. Stepping the back foot up for pyramid pose. So you're about half your distance of your mat. Hips are square. Back foot's at like a 45-degree angle. When you're ready, take an inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Use that balance in the feet, and then exhale, fold, hands to the earth or blocks. Top of the head drops down. Release. Stay here. Walk the hands to the right side of your mat, keeping hips nice and square. Once you twist, drop the head. 3 more breaths. Start to bring yourself back towards center. Moving into a standing split. So that might look really close to grounded airplane, or you might be able to lift that leg up a little bit higher today. If you're working towards balance, feel free to move into that space, bringing both hands to the ankle. If you're working towards more flexibility, maybe melting the chest down, extending that other leg high to the sky. We're going to start to pull our knee into our chest, our left knee. Pull it in, curl it in. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Finding stork, pull that right knee into the chest. Stay here and hug that right knee in, or start to move towards big toe hold. So we'll take our peace fingers around that right big toe. Left hand can be to your hip, to the sky, or to a wall. Yeah. Start to extend out through that heel. So maybe this is as far as it goes. Keep that shoulder nice and tight. Maybe you're able to extend, keeping the hips square. Breathe. Slowly coming back into that stork, release that hold. Yeah. We're going to go back into a crescent lunge. Right foot is coming all the way to the back of the mat. Ooh, lift, engage. And let's come all the way back into a 3-point. Left leg lifts high to the sky. Exhale, runner's lunge. Foot comes in between the hands. Back foot is going to step up. Find that pyramid pose. When you are ready, foundation feels good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. So, exploring, not forcing. Yeah, breathing and softening into the shape. Letting go of any attachment to what this should look like. What does it feel like? Stay here, beginning to walk those hands over towards the left side of your mat. Once you get to that place, maybe you're able to land and drop that head. We'll start to bring those hands back to center. When you're ready, inhale, standing splits. And that might just look like grounded airplane. You're able to lift that leg a little higher. Maybe you lift that leg super high, play with balance, or work towards more flexibility. Right knee is going to start to pull into the chest. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Finding stork, left knee pulls into the chest. Stay and breathe here, hugging in that knee. Or take those peace fingers around the left big toe. Hand to your hip, to the sky, or extend. Coming back into that stork, gently release, lift. Crescent lunge, send that left foot back. Lift, 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 lift. Finding a runner's lunge, hands come down, and we are moving into our final posture today. So if for today it's just split prep, encourage the hips to be square with one another. Okay, and then lengthen the spine. So top of the head is moving away from the tailbone as opposed to like nose to knee. And you can really feel that extension along the back sides of the legs. If you are going to start to move out into a full splits, blocks are always a great option. They can start to slide underneath a hip. Yeah, get you to a place where you can breathe. So we're working towards finding balance in between the hips. You can feel that left leg, right? So like pull that left hip forward, lift up through the center of you. I know, right? This is intense. I didn't know my legs were so tight today. So shoulders back. Find some ease. Slowly, if you're in if you're in split prep, shift forward into a runner's lunge. If you're all the way down here in a split, maybe you rock onto that right leg. Come into a tabletop. And then we'll move over to a left runner's lunge. So if you got that right foot in front, maybe you'd step up to a forward fold, or you can even play with a little jump switch. Right, back knee comes down. Start with that split prep because each side of our body is completely different, so don't just slam out into a split, right? Take a second. I know you were going to, David. You're going to slam it out. Take your time. When you are ready, beginning to extend forward, stopping where you need to. And even if you stop for a few breaths and then go deeper, right? So find that edge where you need to give yourself a little bit of kindness. There's all kinds of variations and binds, folding that you can do in these splits. So if this is not your deepest expression, you can even take blocks and begin to raise the front leg. So if you need to deepen it, please feel free to. All right. See if you can relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll begin to make our way out of this to a seated position. Ooh, maybe plant the feet. Windshield wiper the knees. Let's begin to bring our feet together, knees apart. I'm moving towards a little bit of a diamond, but if you would like to bring your feet closer to you, feel free to. Inhale, lengthen up, and then exhale, start to shift forward. Find that edge. Begin to soften into that space. Drop the head down. Inhale brings you up nice and tall. Starting to make your way onto your back. Setting up for an inversion of your choice, maybe hips on a block. Happy baby, shoulder stand. If you're working towards shoulder stand today, fingertips are going to be pointing up towards the ceiling on that low back. I'm going to take out this little pony. I'm going to take out my little pony. Start to rock. Bring those hips. Find a nice place for you to land. And then send those toes high to the sky. Slight tilt of the chin towards the chest, lengthening out the back of the neck. Beginning to find your final space in this inversion. Pulling knees into the chest. Pause for a moment. And then allow the knees to fall to the left. Bringing them back through center and to the right. and back through center. Squeeze yourself, give yourself a big hug. That was fun stuff today. And begin to make your way towards a Shavasana. So you can allow the legs to fall heavy to the edges of the mat, arms away from the sides, take up space. Find a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out of the mouth and start to soften down. Feel free to stay in this space as long as possible. You have earned it today. That was some good stuff. I hope you feel good in your bodies. I hope you feel good in your minds. And I'm so excited that you are taking care of yourself and making your self-care a priority. Namaste, friends.